then it looks really nice as well as layers. It's like when we do stamping and things, we matte and layer our work. So it's a bit like that. And I've attached the layers using brads over the corresponding rainbow paper. So I'm going to start with the top layer here, and I'm using the rainbow parchment. And what I'm going to show, so clear parchment does not have a right or a wrong side.
Okay.
With the colored parchment, whether it's rainbow parchment, designer parchment, plain color, the colored parchment, when we want the white work, the white lines to show as white, there is a right and a wrong.
Okay.
So if I just show you on a piece we were working on earlier, if you cannot, like sometimes it's hard to see, especially with the lighter colors, which is the front and which is the back, for example. So colored parchment is color flooded on one side, and that is usually the back of your work. So with the darker parchment, you'll see definitely that side is the side that's the glossy, brighter side. Okay. And the front of the work will be matte.
Right. So
and
we want
sort of a lighter shade.
You want people to look at the matte, and you're working on the glossy.
Yes, you're working. But if you're still not sure what, which is the right and the wrong, on your embossing mat, in a corner, take your tool and just do a little scribble. So I've scribbled this. On the front, that's gone white, which means that is the front of our work. So all our line art will be on this side, on the back. So this is the front. We always do the line art on the back. Yep. Yeah? Okay. So what I've done is I have started a little bit just to show you the framework. So what I've done is I have taken my parchment and I've started doing the framework on this, and it is the third largest. Now with the groovy system, if you take your parchment off your plate, you can easily put it back on and it sort of slots back in place and sits into the groove. If you're just starting, you want to make sure you have groovy reading the right way up, and make sure you're on the hard side of your embossing mat. Okay, so glasses.
Glasses aren't included, by the way, see.
I'm going to stick my parchment down with groovy tabs. And I'm just going to slot that back in. There we go. Stick it
your groovy tabs are in your accessory kit, which is going to appear on the screen.
And I'm going to turn it around this way. So I'm working, coming down. So what I'm going to use is my number 1 tool that's in the starter kit, and using a groovy guard to hold the parchment down, as well as keep my icky fingers off the parchment. I'm just going to emboss the line. Now I like to go a few times. Well, not quite that many, few, 2 or 3 times. Yeah. But I know a lot of people can, get perfectly crisp lines just going once. So it's a personal preference. If you're starting, try it both ways and see what works. And the scallops.
So if you want
I'm using the number 1 tool.
The starter kit, which has this tool in and the groovy, the plate mate holding it all in together. 535632. There you go. That is exactly what you're getting home for 58.48. Of course, if you want to then go for the scallop squares that we're using right now, which are included with the scallop circles, that's what's going to appear. But 75% of that stock has now gone. So bravo by checking out in the show.
So I didn't. I know I'm doing this, but for the card, I forgot. I don't really need this 4th side. But it's, I can show it to you, which is super quick to do. And there we go. If I turn that round, you have got the 4 sides.
Ta-da!
Yeah, there you go.
I could have a photograph in it. It could be a stamp in it. After all, of course, hopefully, it's going to be something from your groovy plate. It's going to go in there as well to do
So I didn't need the 4th side because when we look at this card, you can see I've got as my landscape, I have got the musical notes here. So if you're going to do this card at home, then just do the 3 sides, and that's enough. So I'm going to get the one with the landscape.
Yep, that musical notes.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the musical
Well, it could be a
note.
landscape, like you're not wrong.
And on one of the lower, well, on the lower side, I'm going to do it. You can have it straight. I preferred going at an angle like this, just personal preference, because I quite like the idea of a diagonal. But you can have it straight if you wish. And then once again, we just stick this down with our tabs. And we're ready to emboss the lines. So when I emboss the lines, I know I'm going to be picot cutting around the edge here and under there.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the scallop and emboss the lines.
Here's the thing, like, if you're thinking, I might not, do I have to do snipping and stuff? You haven't got to do anything.
No.
You haven't got to snip. You haven't got to do every single line. You haven't got to put every single note in. You haven't got to put the scallop lines in if you don't want to. It could be any of the characters. This musical note could be below all of the flowers that me and you brought previously together. You know, it's completely your composition.
Exactly. The music notes will fit on, go with any of your cards. I just love music notes.
Yeah, but then, you know what, then if you're not fussed about that and you're thinking, actually, well, where do I start? What is the inspiration? That is why you tune in to the Shack to see different groovy ideas going on there via Clarity, and that's why you also get the instructions in there, right? And in the starter kit, to be fair.
So what you can do is you can join, if you're just starting off, join Groovy Worldwide on Facebook. There's Clarity Worldwide on Facebook. Paul does Groovy Tuesdays.
Groovy Tuesdays, that's it.
Barbara does Shack on a Monday. And then on a Sunday, there is a Clarity Matters blog, which usually has a step-by-step. But when you join Groovy Worldwide and Clarity Worldwide, you can ask the questions. You can look for inspiration. It is such an amazing group, you know, and everyone there is always ready to help. The whole design team is on there as well. So, you're never alone.
And little tips. How do you do that? Or you see a sample, for example. These are all those combinations. But if you're not fussed about going online, that's not necessarily your bag. Maybe just spin it around. There you go. One big project is perfectly lots of pictures, lots of words showing you how you can be creating that. That is only included in that multi-buy of all 6 together. Completely up to you, of course. I know a lot of you are going for the 3 and the 3. Whatever you'd rather do with that big collective, of which nearly 2/3 of the stock has gone. 391704. So thank you, Tina.
So here we have the music note. I'm going to swap that over, and I'm going to bring in the characters. One of the things with parchment, using the Groovy system, we want to work from front back. So our new music note is at the forefront, because that's the landscape and all of these characters are standing on top of it. So that's why we did the music note first. So now we need to work with the Ica one first, then go to the,
like dad or older brother,
mom,
or aunt could be
uncle, and then we've got a friend sealed there. So we're going to start with that. I'll do a little bit and then talk through the various elements so I can show you other techniques as well. So if I'm doing this one, for example, one of the things that I might do is, for example, I may want to change this hat. So I'm going to stick this down. Oh, and sorry, I should have said this. Because we're working on the back of the parchment, I know I wanted the little one on the right-hand side, which means that when we're doing the line art, we're going to do it mirror opposite. So because I want him on the right, I need to emboss him on this side. So I'm going to put that. I don't want the shoes. I mean, they're lovely shoes. Skates, or I just don't feel like having them.
Well, that's fair enough. There's some really cute shoes in this mix and match, but with like little snowmen on her shoes.
So I've attached that. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I want to show you to change the hat, for example, if I want to. Now, one of the things you can do is, for example, you can do a little bit, number 1, 2, a little bit, and then fit the hat, or you can just choose a hat, choose a scarf, put them in and then put the rest of the characters
These could be
around.
antlers, could be hats, could be a pom-pom hat, could be a party hat.
Yeah.
Got tons of them. Yep.
So
woolly
for
hat.
me personally, I preferred putting the face in, for example, first. So let's put the face in, because what that does is it gives me a guideline of the angle it's facing up at things. And I'm going to just put a bit. I'm not going to put the whole thing, but just a bit. And I know the arms go like this because it's so easy. Even if I take this off, it's so easy to put it back on and then fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just do this much for the moment.
Okay.
Let's change the hat
Okay.
and the scarf. So let's move that out. Bring this in maybe. How about party hat?
Party hat. Cool.
There we go. Let's give him a party hat. So with the party hat, if I put the party hat where those ends, the eyes get covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's certain things you need to look
Keep an eye
out
out,
for. So for example, because I need to bring the party hat a bit higher up so I don't lose the eye, for
Okay.
example, I would have to either extend the face to meet up with the party hat,
Okay.
or change my hat. But
What
we're
are we
gonna meet up because I
Okay.
think it's worth seeing that.
Okay.
So because it could be a birthday party, maybe you
Well,
don't
this is what
want
we
a
showed
Christmas
earlier on
hat.
with that. I think the bears on it, was it? That said, have a berry happy birthday. So yeah, whatever you want it to be. Of course, there is a bit of a festive theme too. Again, if you want to go for the trios on their own, one of those is on the bottom part of the screen.
And I think it's worth showing that, you know, although some of the faces you may think, oh no, it doesn't meet this hat I want. It's so easy to do. So there we go. Maybe I don't want the pom-pom, but I'll put it in for the moment. But you can change the pom-pom for any of the other elements that might be on the other plates. So you can see where the face is not meeting the hat. Yeah, at the moment, it's floating.
I see.
I don't want it to
Don't
float.
float the face.
It's fine with floating, you know. Just pick any sort of angle. No, actually, I'm going to go with the original. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it a bit lower. So we had the face like this. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That fits perfectly there. What I need to do is I need to bring it just a bit lower, just so it fits. So you can just extend where it ends there, and you extend it. And then the same on the other side, where you just extend it.
I love the options. The options and the freedom, and maybe you're not thinking about, oh, I might do that straight away. You can do it on the next project or the next one. Like, you can just do it exactly as you see fit. You haven't got to, I know you can mix and match, which I've never seen before, but you haven't got to.
You don't have to. So I'm going to go with this hat, this scarf for the moment on here. So instead of this scarf, you can have this scarf if you wish. And you're going to just emboss that out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. You've got a scarf, but I think the scarf needs a tassel. It's very much a case of just enjoying the process and creating something with it. So there you go. I mean, on the card itself, I kept it pretty simple. So shall I talk through the card and then through the various design things I've done on
Absolutely,
the original
yes,
card?
please. And then after that, we're going to, because we've got a question via the Facebook page, which I'm going to read to you in just a second. But after, talk us through where we sort of got to in that stage.
So here's the hat. So what I did is I kept him just the way it is, but I wanted to show you on this piece how you can change him about. So
Cool.
here we've kept him as original. Here we've given him a party
There you go.
hat. We've changed the scarf a little bit. So
Haven't put a jacket on him yet. You could do, you don't have to, whatever
Yeah.
you want to do.
okay, so we've got him there. What I did next is I started with the snowman and this one here. So I started embossing that so that he was, let's slot him in so it doesn't move, there you go, behind The little
That's what
one.
I'm talking about, like have some
So when
consideration
you
of your
have
layering.
something behind, don't cross over into your previously embossed line, so it will
Yep.
look like it's behind. Because I wanted to change the hat, I've left the hat out.
Okay.
And then the hat came from this one. No, not this. No, it was this one.
Yeah.
Where instead of this hat, I wanted to give it this hat. So again, you're just going to just emboss that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we've done that, it's just so much fun. Just mixing and matching. They needed a friend. Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
So here we have the seal.
Go for a seal.
So when I did the seal first, I wanted the seal. So this is the seal, but I put a bow tie on the seal
Well, it's
and given the seal a hat.
an important thing to do, and it's quite
So
nippy today.
if you're going to do that, put the bow tie first, because that's what's at the front of the seal. It's the bow tie. The bow tie first. The hat is from the little one here to the hat, and then fit the rest of the seal around.
Those of you who are going for trios, by the way, the seal and the polar bear and the penguin is the most popular out of the two. On the screen, 24.97. So you can see you've already got a little bit of a saving there. Think about those savings times 2, because I'm on the 3 and the 3. That makes a new item number, which has another something like £5 off. So you've got a greater saving than technically it shows on the screen. 997-684. If you want to go for all pink penguins, seals, and polar bears, and just absolutely divine finished samples there for 22.47 in the club. Okay, okay.
And then finally, all I did is I put a few trees from the seals play, just to give it some background.
Yeah, a bit of background, a bit of depth.
So just a couple of big trees, and then the little one over there to give me my picture. The other thing you can do is, for example, on here, when we look at this, we've got the pocket here, but I've put extra patches.
Yes, you have.
Using elements
Sneaky.
from here. So again, you're customizing their clothes with, instead of patches, I could have put, for example, stars, circles, or anything. So that was that. And then on the clear parchment, just very quickly, so on the clear parchment, all I did is I laid this, once I'd cut and everything. No, I didn't actually. I did random circles.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the next largest. This is the second largest scallop squares. Again with the number 1 tool, and using the number 2 tool, I have embossed the circles from the little one's plates. Yes, just random circles around here.
But even something like that, of course you can do everything freehand as well if you want to add a little something here, but one circle you might do, but if you're doing like 10, 20, 30 little circles and you want them to be not perfect, but you certainly don't want them to look wrong, that's why you can do that and just keep going, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Really
you can put randomly, and they're so quick to do. And then all we would do is emboss those, which we did a little bit of this morning. But you can see the difference, because we're going to emboss those. I've embossed them with the number 2 tool to give a softer white outline as opposed to the crisp white outlines. It makes it easier to do white work when we've got softer white outline.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Wow, okay. I'm going to recap exactly what we're getting home in just a second, and then I'll read